Hey guys, it's a True Man of Steel here again, here to kick off another retro review for the film Iron Man. The 2008 film starring Robert Downey Jr. as the title character of Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Terrence Howard as James Rhodes, Obadiah Stane played by Jeff Bridges, and Phil Coulson played by Clark Gregg. Alright, here we go. Positives of the movie. Robert Downey Jr. He's like the positive. He he owns this character. As you guys all know, he is Tony Stark. I mean, going into this movie, I didn't have a whole lot of familiarity with the character, and I hadn't seen much of Iron Man, the Tony Stark character, beyond the Ultimate Avengers animated movie that came out a while back. And so that was like before that, that was like my only exposure to Iron Man. So I'm like, oh okay. And I see the movie, I'm just like, okay, he looks exactly like Tony Stark and Iron Man. So let's see how it goes. And the movie was it was so much fun because it doesn't take itself too seriously as a superhero movie. Because obviously, like Iron Man is a superhero, but they kind of play on that a little bit. And again, overall, just like it's such an amazing movie. Other positives, the Pepper and Tony relationship and their chemistry. I'm so glad, like looking back on it now, I'm so glad they didn't make it all like just Pepper was just another love interest. She is so much more than that as a character, and I'm really glad they set her up that way because she's not only Tony Stark's assistant, she's one of his best friends and one of his trusted friends, one of the few people he can really trust with certain things. And here they have like such great chemistry, and there's like that spark between them. Not even because that's how the characters are written in the comic books and all that, but because of the actors' chemistry. On like when it comes to movies and a love interest, especially, if the actors don't have chemistry, it doesn't work. And with Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow, it works, and it's such their relationship that carries out through all the Iron Man movies and even Avengers. It's one of my favorite relationships in modern superhero movies, other than like Superman and Lois Lane, but that's beside the point. Um, Another positive, the beginning of the movie, well, somewhat the beginning, where Tony is captured by the Ten Rings, and he has to try to escape by using almost like his own weapon against them. Yeah, he's using his own weapons against them because here they are, like they're trying to like force him to make that missile that has like a bunch of little missiles. I forget what it's called. It starts with a J or something. But when they're like trying to force him to do that, and it just like in the end, like he instead of doing what they said, like he's just like what, like screw these guys, I'm gonna bust out of here. So he creates the Mark I Iron Man suit, and it looks so spot on. Well, not spot on, but it looks so close to the original incarnation of Iron Man. The whole bucket thing. At least it looks like a big bucket suit. And in the movie, it comes off so like cool because it doesn't look too CGI'd, and it looks real. Like he's like in a suit, like that. Like, I'm not sure off the top of my head if they filmed it that way or it was a little CGI. Obviously, some of it was, but overall great. The whole sequence, not in sequence, like the whole like portion of the movie where he's in there is some of my favorite parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far because it shows like not only is he such a genius, he's there because being there and seeing the deaths of all the soldiers and all that, it gives a new perspective. I'm like, whoa, like maybe I shouldn't be this weapons manufacturer anymore. Maybe I should change my life around. Maybe I start making better decisions with my life moving forward, and it can't be this war machine, pun intended. And I thought that was great because not only like does he just like become the hero because that's who he's supposed to be, they give him reasoning behind it. So it's not just like, oh, here's another superhero. It's more than that, and that's why like that whole portion of the movie means so much to me. And yeah, another positive for me is the Obadiah Stane character. In my opinion, one of the most underrated characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mainly, well, they killed him off, so of course they can't like go back to him and have everyone be like, "Oh, remember that guy?" Like, no, unfortunately, they killed him off. Spoiler alert. Okay, if you haven't watched it by now, too bad. Well, back to that. Jeff Bridges did a really, really, really good job with that character. He's one of my favorite parts of the movie because he comes off like the good guy, like one of Tony's best friends. It seems like his business partner, like he almost like a dad, like the way he looks out for, or it seems like he's looking out for him. And then there's that twist in the end where he's just like, like who do you think ordered like that hit on you, and then who do you think got you kicked off the board, and blah blah blah. And it's just like whoa, like as a non-comic book fan of Iron Man at the time, I'm just like whoa, like I wasn't expecting it. And the way he like reverse engineered like the Mark One Iron Man suit and made the Ironmonger suit, and just the way like he goes from being this like caring person, he's like, I don't give a shit. I've been fucking raising you. Excuse my language. I've been raising you since this and this, and I've been like helping you out through all this, but I don't care anymore. I want the company for myself. And I'm just like, whoa, that's kind of dark. And the way he just like, the movie kind of took a darker turn than I thought it would. Mainly because I went in this movie with no real, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect from the movie. And I was surprised by how well it was written and how dark it got at times, which I think was something that superhero movies, okay, that's the whole thing. But like Marvel versus DC, the whole darkness versus the light comedy, like bits, like not saying like darker is the better way, but adding more like realistic and like slightly darker elements to a story, especially a superhero story, makes it that much real to the audience. Like it seems much more real to the audience because you see these things. It's like there are people like that. There are people who are just that bad, that evil, and they'll kill to get what they want. Yeah, I'm exaggerating because the Obadiah Stane character isn't that evil, but he's still bad. He's the bad guy of the movie, and yeah, I still think it's a very underrated character. I love Jeff Bridges as an actor. I love his portrayal of the Ironmonger character. I kind of wish they didn't kill him off, but oh well. All right, one of my favorite parts of the movie, like the introduction of a fan favorite character who is now leading his own show, Phil Coulson. The introduction of him, and then the introduction of Shield into this universe, and he brought like a cool element to the movie because of course he's just a side character. He wasn't like a main player or anything like that, like Terrence Howard or Gwyneth Paltrow or any of them. But he played like a somewhat significant part, and like helping Pepper trying to find the Ironmonger suit and all that. And in the end, when like she's like, oh, like what can I call you? Like the strategic. She's like, oh, just call it Shield. And that's something I want to address. That's like my only real negative with the movie is when it's just like, oh, just call it Shield, because the entire movie they didn't use the abbreviation Shield. They said the entire thing, the Strategic Homeland Enforcement and Logistics Division, several times. Now it's kind of like the joke. And in the end, he's like, oh, we figured it out. It spells out Shield if you use it as an anagram. I think that's what it's called. And I'm just like, okay, like cool. But now fast forward 6 years to now, it's a bit of a continuity error because in other Marvel movies and even in the shows that they've got like addressed that like Shield has been Shield for decades, and it's been addressed as Shield for decades, and they make in Iron Man almost make it seem like Shield's like a somewhat new organization, or they just barely figured out how to refer to it as Shield, and I'm just like, okay, it's a minor thing, but that's just like something I feel like I had to address because it's my only real gripe with the movie. Not that it was even a bad thing. It's just like a bit of a continuity problem to me. But overall, again, it's just like a minor, like nitpicky thing. But yeah, I'd have to say like my favorite part of this movie was something I didn't see until like almost 2 years after the movie even came out, which was the end credit scene with Nick Fury talking about the Avengers Initiative. Like when he comes out of the shadows, I'm just like, holy shit! Like because I knew that the Nick Fury or the Ultimate Nick Fury was based off of Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson had said, if you're going to use my likeness, you have to make me Nick Fury. So I'm like, okay, like we'll see if they use Nick Fury. And did they use Nick Fury? And he came out and was like, dude, he is effing Nick Fury. I'm like, and it bugs me like that I missed it for almost 2 years. I never saw the end credit scene. I didn't know there's an end credit scene. I just knew there's the Nick Fury thing. I can never find the clip, and when I did, like, I didn't know where to find it, like in the actual movie itself. And I'm just like, ah, yeah, yeah, that's about it. About all my thoughts on that movie. Sorry to kind of cut it like that, guys. Um, Again, this is my one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. It was the kickstarter to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Without Iron Man, we wouldn't be where we are now with, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, all these great movies. They wouldn't be where they are without Iron Man and the success of Iron Man, and without Robert Downey Jr. and his performance and his owning of the character. All right, guys. Well, that'll be it for me. Oh yeah, rating. I have to give the movie a rating. Duh. Okay, give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Um, Actually, you know what? 9 out of 10. I'm a little generous. It's of course it's not a perfect movie. It has like some slight problems, but overall it's a great movie experience. And that's really all you can ask from a movie is if you came out and it was a good experience for you. And that's what Iron Man was. All right, guys. Well, that'll be it for me. 9 out of 10. Iron Man. Thanks for watching my retro review, guys, and see you around.